Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ben and I film cars, take pictures of cars, and occasionally post stuff about cars. And today we're installing a super cool part, and it is this tiny little OEM Nissan automatic cutoff switch. Now I know some of you may be thinking this looks really similar to an air conditioning switch, but trust me, it's not. This is actually used as a disguised anti-theft device. So it'll actually prevent the car from starting, and it's disguised to look like an air conditioning switch. So I'm gonna show you guys how to get this thing installed. It involves just a tiny little bit of wiring, but they designed it like that so that you can't just like buy one of these and then install it factory afterwards, just super easy. So you're gonna need to do a little bit of wiring, but I'll have all of the stuff listed in the description that you're gonna need to do to wire one of these into your car. Okay guys, let's start off first by going over the tools just so you know what you're gonna need. You're gonna need just a few simple electrical tools. You're gonna need some dikes for cutting some wire. You're gonna need some spade crimpers. These are pretty good, I'll leave these below. Some wire snippers. Here's another crimper. You might need a trim tool, and then we've also got some butt connectors, some heat shrink, and spade connectors. This is everything that you're gonna need right here, and just the tiniest bit of wire we're going to need to extend a small pigtail. Okay guys, let's jump into the car real quick and I'll show you what I'm actually talking about. So, behind this block-off plate is where your automatic cutoff switch goes. This is your anti-theft device. So, my car was not outfitted with this since it's the base model, so we're gonna remove this block-off plate, and then we're gonna come right down into the footwell, and under here we've actually got an empty connector, and this connector is what you're going to use to outfit this system. This system only came on the higher end Sentras like the XE, but this is a base model, so we're going to do this ourselves at home. Super simple. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, I know this is hard to see, but right here, this small little switch that I'm trying my best to illuminate is part of the automatic cutoff system. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to remove this switch, and then at the end of it is a pigtail, so we can actually disconnect that, take that out of the car, and extend it. I'll do that right now so you guys can get a better look. Okay guys, so you can see here we got the automatic cutoff switch pigtail out of the footwell. So what this is a switch right here. This is a non-latching switch, so as soon as you let go, it's gonna come off, but we don't want this style for our car. We're actually gonna remove this switch right here. And now we've got our pigtail. This almost reaches all the way to the factory location for the automatic cutoff, but we're gonna need to deepen this connector, extend these wires just a little bit, and then connect a connector that will fit with this factory cutoff switch. To show you guys, we'll first take off that little block off panel so you can even see what we're working with. Okay, so here guys, we used a pocket screwdriver to remove the block off plate. You can see the connector for the automatic cutoff switch, and you can actually see here they labeled automatic cutoff switch here as well, just in case your switch doesn't come with it, but we have that. So we're gonna be using this connector, our pigtail, and then pinning everything in. Okay guys, so we got our connector de-pinned off of our pins right here. We're just gonna wrap these up and tuck them away, and then we're gonna extend our pigtail and pin this connector in. Okay guys, so we've got the connector out of the car, we've got our automatic cutoff switch, we've got our pigtail. Now all we got to do is snip the end of this, extend it, and then put on our new connector. Okay guys, so we got the old connector off of our pigtail. Now we're just going to strip these, extend the wires, and then install our new connector. We're connecting our butt connectors just like so. Just give it a little crimp, a little test tug. There we go. We're using our smallest size butt connector, so our 22 to 18 gauge. This side as well, make sure it's all the way seated, and then just give it a little crimp. Now you don't have to worry about the polarity of these when you're extending the wires or when you're putting them in the connector, because it's just a switch. So either way is on off. And then we're gonna strip our extensions right here. We'll put that, give it a little twist so the strands are tight, and we're gonna put it right there in our butt connector. Make sure it's completely seated, and then just a single crimp, nice and tight. And then a little test tug, looks good. And then we'll heat this up. This heat shrink is super nice. When you heat it up, it excretes some sealant so that everything's nicely water sealed in there. And then if you really want, you can put some heat shrink over it, but I never do just because it adds extra bulk, and I don't really mind seeing the butt connectors, but if you really want, you can do that. This side now. Crimp, nice and tight. test tug, looks good. And then we'll heat these up later. Come to our end here, and we will pin our connector. Okay, now guys, we're gonna use the connector for our automatic cutoff switch, and we are going to strip the ends of these wires, put on spade connectors, and then connect up this, and then that will go right into here. Just gotta find the spade that fits these, and it looks like these ones do. All right guys, there you have it. We've got both of our spade connectors, our butt connectors. These still need to be shrunk, but we're looking pretty good. Guys, in my humble opinion, a heat gun will always be the best thing for butt connectors. I know people like tiny little butane lighters or actual lighters, but like a heat gun works perfect, super quick. You have less risk of burning everything to the ground. And then with these butt connectors, you heat them up until they are transparent and you've got your sealant goop sticking out of the end. And so we're just gonna wrap this up in electrical tape and get this thing reinstalled. Okay guys, we've got this thing all wrapped up. We're just gonna give it a good press. Now, electrical tape is not the best thing for looming a harness. It's much better to use an actual loom, but this is just 2 wires and it's gonna be hidden, so I'm not too concerned. It will get gooey and gunky and over a long period of time get hard, but for this application and for what we're doing, I think this will work pretty well. Now, we just gotta connect this back into the car, and then I'll show you guys this end right here. The worst place to work in a car is in the driver's footwell, without a doubt. There is no competition. It is not even close. This is the worst spot. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay guys, so we're in the car. We've routed our connector up through the automatic cutoff switch port. Now all we've got to do is install our switch right here. Okay, there we go guys. We've got our switch fully installed. And we just slide this in like so. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be super nice for the thieves not to get my car. Make sure we're in neutral. So here we are not depressed, so we should not start the car. Okay, and now let's try it with the switch fully depressed. And there you have it guys.